Hello chicks and girls, this is a bald hair day, which means that my hair is a mess. That's what's happening when you're in a lockdown. So we'll do a screen capture video, and I thought I'll do a fun challenge today. I'll find some other booktubers and I'll compare my reading taste to theirs. And in order to do that, I'll use a very strict, very reliable scientific procedure. I'll go on their Goodreads profile and I will compare books. This is a function in Goodreads profile. This is my Goodreads. It may be all Greek to you because the reason I don't have my Goodreads profile linked in my bio is because I mostly write reviews in Greek. Some of the books I'm reading are Greek or they have Greek titles, so I don't do that. And also note that most of my want to read books are actually books I do own and I have not read yet, which means that my TBR is almost 1,000 books. I may have a book buying problem and I fully admit it. Oh well, whatever. We'll start with one small booktube person. Actually, how did I pick 15 booktubers for today? It was a very complicated process. I actually found 8 or 9 people I constantly watch. Not everybody, of course. If you're not here, it doesn't mean that I don't watch your content. It means that I couldn't find your Goodreads profile, or I was just full of requests. The video would get way too long if I did so. And also I asked for other booktubers if they want to submit their channel to this challenge, and some people agreed. So let's start with one of those very small, probably unknown booktubers. Let's go to Mr. Daniel Green. You may have heard of him. He has like 230,000 subscribers. Nice guy. You should go and watch his videos. He's reading The Dragonborn Chair, which I'm also reading. And let's see, we have 76 books in common. Yes, I should say that we have 2 metrics to see who are booktubers that are closer to my taste. And this is how many books we have in common. This greatly helps people that have a huge Goodreads profile, and Daniel does not have too many books in his Goodreads profile. He's only got 231, so I've got, 10 times the book in my profile, but of course, then again, he has it's almost 1,000 times my subscribers. I guess that's even. So we have 76 books in common, and we're 78% similar. That probably means that we're not so compatible after all. Maybe that's why I fail at booktuber. I know another big booktuber I really enjoy is Mike's book reviews. He's a very chill guy. He reads mostly fantasy and some horror. He only has 381 books in his Goodreads, but then again, he has probably read these books. I have 1,000 unread books. We have 112 books in common. So yeah, Michael's get that, I guess. Team Michael. And we're 82% similar in our book tastes. So he seems to be a favorite. He may be the booktuber that is closer to my reading taste, and I know that he is currently running Malazan Read Along for the next 2 years. It starts in January, and I'm going to read the Malazan books, and I can see that he has some amazing books to read. I want him to read Elric of Malibonne because it's Elric definitely deserves more attention from BookTube. It's one of those classic. Wait a minute, I've read Legend. See, that's what happens. That's what's happening in my Goodreads. I sometimes have 2 versions of the same book because of my bilingual situation, but we have the Necroscope in common. Actually, the Mountains of Madness is 4 for both of us. Stand By Me by Stephen King gets 5 stars by us. Yes, some of these are in Greek, I know. Yes, I've read Beastocks. Hey, I've read Beastocks. Why is it not? Whatever. Yeah, Dresden Files. He has some amazing books. He should definitely read very soon because There's some great books here, but yes, it's mostly Dresden Files that we have in common, and Raymond Feist, the magician. I mean, he has some great classic fantasy books to read. Let's go to our ladies. We have Rachel from Sage of Orange. She's reading horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. Let's compare the books. As you can see, I was not prepared for everything, but this happens. So me and Rachel, we have 100 books in common, and we're 74% similar in our reading tastes. It happens. I know. Let's see some books we have in common. Says Jack had some fun. I've read Infidel. Damn it! There's so many books I have yet to read. I mean, Cold Skin. I've got this book twice. You Should Have Left. Richard Lehman. Deadly Class. I've read this one of Seasons, I didn't like it. Can I say I have to read The Fisherman sometime, and I don't own the book actually. It's one of those books I don't own. What's great about this challenge is that I see so many books that I may not have, or that I may have unread, or I may have forgotten to rate them. It happens. But as you can see, we have a lot of graphic novels and horror books in common. Cool, Lock and Key, Miss Marvel. Yeah, I mean, you see, it's graphic novels and thrillers and horror books. Let's go to another lady, Typical Books, Lydia Beaver. Really like her channel. She has some amazing content, some amazing videos. She did a video today about why she's reading horror, and I really enjoyed it. And she actually volunteered for this test. The others I went and put you here even if you don't know it and you don't want to, but she volunteered, and good for her, because we have 145 books in common, and we're 78% similar. So that's very good. Is actually ahead of Mike's book reviews for books read. But yeah, it's not that we have so many books in common. Yeah, Bad Brains by Cathay. I didn't enjoy that book that much. As you can see, it's a 3-star. And I really should do a cipher review next week. I saw Tats. That's a great anthology with erotic horror stories. She liked No Sanctuary more than me. Goth, very good horror manga. Jack Ketchum. The Red is an amazing book. You should definitely read it. City Fernal by Edward Lee. I kind of hated it. As you can see, she's more of a horror fan than me. She puts more high ratings in the books that I've read. She has 5-star bestsellers, so yeah, already if she 5-star bestsellers is my type of reader. What really I think that set her apart is that she is 5-starring more than me. I'm more of a 4-star rater. If I 5-star something, I definitely loved it. I mean, for fuck's sakes, I 4-starred Weaveworld. As I'm saying that, I have my Goodreads profile in my description below, so you can feel free to check the books I've got there. If some book of these, yes, we'll go to the next one, Alex from Hilton Thrifter. If you see any books that I have read or I want to read, and you would like to see more about it, a review or something, leave a comment below with the book title and I'll see what I can do. I'm taking a request for reviews. And let's go to the next lady, Alex from Hilton Thrifter. She's mostly doing vintage horror, and I believe we'll have a lot of books in common. She has 1,200 books. We have 128 books in common, so 10% of her bookshelves are common. We're not as close as Lydia, but we're 81% similar, and I was pretty sure that me and Alex will have a lot of books in common because of our love for pulpy horror books, nasties and all this kind of stuff. And book number 1 is this symbiotic fascination. I really want to read this book. I don't think I loved it enough the first time I read it, and I think it's one of those books I definitely recommend. I don't hear about it too often, but it's one of those books I do enjoy and recommend. Expect a review of it in 2021. She has some Graham Masterton books, so yeah, that really gets a point for me because I love Graham Masterton. A lot of Lehman and Ketchum. Impossible Kingdoms, yes, I love Kitson, but I don't like his short stories, except for one. Also Russell Lehman, Nightmare Factory by Thomas Ligotti. You see the Greek edition, which is a best-of of these books, but Thomas Ligotti is another author to do it about. She's got the Tooth Fairy in her wish list, and the Tooth Fairy is one of my absolute favorite books by Graham Joyce, late Graham Joyce. Some James Herbert, Brian Lumley, Clive Barker, Cathay. I first started, yes, but I have a review about it. It's all Greek to you, and you'll have a video. See, as Tokyo by Mo Hader, another book I loved. As you can see, I 5-starred it, and I've got a double entry. I have to trim down my entries. That's why I have so many want to read books, because I have double and triple versions of the same book in my bookshelves. And there's also William Gibson. Let's go to Harveys and the Trees. Let's see how our books stand together. I love her videos, great aesthetic. She doesn't have a very big Goodreads self, only 94 books, but then again, I believe that Mers was not reading too much, and she started reading after she moved to Germany. But you know what? Our books are 100% similar. Our book taste is 100%. It's probably because the sample is very small, but I don't think that anyone will beat that. So we have she wants to read The Ring by Koji Suzuki, and in popular opinion, I love the American movie of The Ring, the book not so much. We both have to read The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde, and we have Lord of the Rings. We 4-started. We have both to read The Night Circus, and we 5-starred The Hobbit. So yeah, me and Mers have a lot in common, a few books in common, but our reading tastes match a lot. So I think we have a winner here, but maybe you should tell me if we should consider her a winner because of the small sample of books we have in common. Let's go to another girl that lives in Germany, Casa, from Casas Book Cemetery. Let's compare books. I guess we have a lot of books in common too. She has almost 800 books in her Goodreads shelves, and we have 60 books in common and 83% similar in book tastes. Whoa, that's dethrones Mike in a big sampler, and probably that's because, yes, I didn't star Local Hunts because I never star books. I have as The Nameless by Ramsey Campbell. Fun fact, I have read the Greek version. The title is changed to Scream from Hell, because that's how Greek marketing works for horror books. You have the most absurd title ever. A lot of Richard Lehman books too. Some graphic novels. I think that reading graphic novels really help, like Hellboy or Saga. Some Stephen King, and I don't read a lot of Stephen King, some more modern horror. The Book of Lost Things she has 5-starred by John Connolly. I didn't quite like it that much. I think it was a good book, not my cup of tea. I love John Connolly's Charlie Parker books. Everyday Thing is definitely the best. She only 4-starred I'm Legend. I heard about this. She has House of Leaves to read, and seriously, Casa, if you watch this video, read this book. It's an experience. So yeah, we probably have a winner, but we have to see more books, more people. We're halfway through. And we'll go to Cathay Treathard, which volunteered for this challenge. She was one of those people who put herself in the line. She has 2,154 books, so almost 2,000 books not in common. We have 83 books in common, so that's quite a few. And our reading tastes are 82% similar, which is very interesting. I should probably watch more of your videos, but that's really close. We're sort of kindred spirits, and it's mostly comic books, or The Impossible Dead by Ian Rankin, a crime book. But yeah, it's mostly comics. Devil's Dictionary by Bruce Bierce. A lot of Miss Marvel, Sin City. I haven't read The Replacement yet. I should read out very soon. I'm really intrigued by this book. A Long Way Down by Nick Horby, a very interesting Christmas book. I like Nick Horby. It's one of those contemporary writers I do enjoy. But yeah, the medieval horror in a very pulp 80s version here. Rosemary's Baby, Warm Bodies. So yeah, some thrillers, some horror, some Terry Pratchett. Not my favorite Terry Pratchett book actually. Ray Bradbury, Let the Right One In, yes, definitely. I should watch more of Cathay's videos because we have a lot of reading tastes in common. So see, after doing this challenge for people you don't know, you find more people you enjoy, and we go to Regina Sinclair from Regina's Haunted Library. She has 347 books in her bookshelf, so that means that less books in common, only 34. You know, it's a numbers game. If you have fewer books in your bookshelves, in your Goodreads shelf, you get less books in common, but maybe more similar taste, like 81% similar. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the people who have a similar taste to me, I guess. And Regina reads a lot of boomer fantasy like me. The McCaffrey Dragon Rider series, I have not read any of those books yet. Some Terry Pratchett, 5 stars Terry Pratchett, so yes, that's already more than 100% my book. Some Laurel Hamilton books, and that's hated. So yeah, I mean, I love the early Anita Blake books, but I think I stopped reading at Killing Dance because I just read a magical ritualistic threesome to destroy the villains, and I was like, yeah, it's that part of those books where it all goes downhill. So I select Lots of Ladies, which is one of my favorite Terry Pratchett books, so I guess I'll keep that. We're not too hot on the London Cafe. We like The Laughing Corpse, Circus of the Dance, and so you get the idea. And she's not too hot on Harry Dresden, but whatever. I mean, Harry Dresden fit perfectly into my Anita Blake-sized hole in my reading habits. So whatever. Samuel Le Guin, 5-star House of Leaves, The Stormfront in Greek. The Greek title is Demonic Storm. Again, Greek book marketing. You cannot be too subtle. Be in your face and make it sound grim and gritty and horrifying. That's how we try to sell books. It's not working that well. And we go to Caffeinate covers. She's one of those booktubers that we talk a lot on Twitter. Yes, I do use Twitter. There's a link for all my social media below. I even added my Goodreads account there. We have only 31 books in common out of her 184 books, so yeah, that's quite a lot. Actually, it's 1% of books. Oh, it's 1%. It's 17% of your library that's in common, and we have 84% similar taste in books. So that's quite a feat. That's great. I mean, we had a winner for Casa. No way. We have 84% for Caffeinated covers, which is yeah, so it's a lot of fantasy. Guy WK, The Cemetery. I have this book for 15 years now, haven't read it. Some Harry Dresden, The Black Company. I was not on Holland. Ghana, I just love this book. The Bartimeus trilogy, The Eye of the Golem. Love this book. Well, I don't own Joe Abercrombie, another book I don't own. Probably I should clean my bookshelves from the books I don't own. You see some of them. I think I was planning to buy it and didn't do that because I just found out how many books I had unread and I stopped buying books. Jonathan, what's the title of this book? God damn it. The Two Mages and the King of Crows, which is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I thought I owned this book. I don't own it. That's why I never bought it. She loved The Fifth Season by N.K.J. Messin. Yeah, I mean, all those Greek titles. She read The Eye of the World. I have a copy of it stashed somewhere. I should probably get down to it. She hasn't read The Name of the Wind. She liked it. I should probably read The Night Circus because I keep saying it repeated in those people I have similar tastes to, and some the ones that should not be named on Booktube because you'll get the curse of cancel. Let's go to Dulcecil Rooney. She is author-tuber. She volunteered for this task and checks her channels, does some amazing audiobooks. She doesn't have a lot of books in her bookshelves, only 57, and 10 of them are in common, so quite a few. For here, enough for the books we have in common, but I guess we're 81% similar. She reads a lot of classic sci-fi. So The Time Machine by J. Wells, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Ender's Game by Oscar Scorecard. I have yet to read this one. I own it. It's constantly in my to be read next, but I always find another book to read. The Picture of Dorian Gray, Frankenstein, Fahrenheit 451, 1984, that boy who survived by the ones that's not been named. And yes, I haven't read the first 4 Harry Potter books. No, the first 3 Harry Potter books, I watched the movies. I started reading from the 4th book because the movies were not out yet, and I heard that it gets more adult, more teen, more for adults. So I plan to read the first 3 books, just so I can say I've read the entire series. And let's go to another volunteer, Samantha from Love Living Daily. She mostly reads romance books, so I guess we will not have many books in common. She has 335 books in her library, and 18 of them are in common, and we have 43% similar reading tastes. Yeah, I mean, this happens sometimes. If you volunteer and you're not quite aware of the other's content, you get some discrepancies. I mean, we've read House of Leaves, she didn't quite like it. I get that. She has read The Night Circus. She didn't quite liked It by Stephen King. She 1-starred The Culture in the Rye. I 3-starred it. I was not that fond of it. I love The Great Gatsby. She hated it. So yeah, that happens. Our reading tastes are way off. I should probably watch more of her videos and see her style. Let's go to Books on PeakCelsium, another volunteer. And unfortunately, some of the people who volunteered, I don't know their channels, so I cannot say much about them. I had, had an open invitation just for the fun of it, to have new blood, maybe find new people I want to watch. I mean, I don't follow Catherine, and she is quite similar to me, so I guess it's a channel to follow. But let's see, me and Chelsea, she has 243 books in her Goodreads selves, so there is a good chance that they are not so many books in common, only 23, and we are 78% similar in our books, in our book taste. And let's see what we like. We like Deadpool, House of M, Marvel Comics, The Witcher, Darkest Shade of Magic by V. Schwab, The Watchmen, Wuthering Heights, the books by that should not be named, and The Hobbit. You see, that's a very safe geeky books that we have in common. And we go to lastly, Lexie. She didn't volunteer, but I definitely watched her videos. She has more than 1,400 books in her bookshelves. 72 of them are in common, and she's not a person who's reading the books I'm reading, and that's very interesting to have so many books in common, and we're 80% similar in our reading tastes according to Goodreads. Of course, we understand that this is not a reliable method, it's not scientific and all. It's just that she has the Chris Fox books I have recommended to her. She Wakes by Jack Ketchum I have recommended because she wants to read Greek books, and I've told her that this is one of the best books about Greece I've read. We have My Hero Academia. She's going to read The Boys for the Sculptor by Scott McCloud. I definitely have to read this one sometime. I own it for years. And Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud is such an amazing book. The Eyes of Darkness by Dean Koontz. I hated this book because he has everything. It's an amazing book. Some James Patterson, okay. Blankets, which I'm not sure. Yes, many of the books are recommendation by yours truly. Gardens of the Moon, Blankets, Darkly Dreaming Dexter, which I didn't like that much. But yes, you see thrillers, some fantasy, some comic books. The 5th season, Saga. But she's not marking, she's not reviewing, or so I'm not sure, Sharp Object. We had a read along together, and I'll give this book 3 stars, which is the same, it's a 4-star book. What was I thinking? Let me fix that right now. And you see that it's all Greek to you, reviews. And let's see how this review I just adjusted changes the it's down to 85% similar. So you see that it's very dependent on how you rate the books. So I think that Lexie is actually getting ahead of the competition. And finally we have Julia T, also known as I Read More Books. So good day, Julia. She volunteered too. Let's compare the books we've read. She has 47 books in her reading shelf and only 3 books in common. Norwegian Wood by Hiroki Murakami. I've not read it yet. A Clockwork Orange. She haven't read it, and we both have the picture of Dorian Gray for a 75% similar for the books you've both rated. So yeah, not that great of a match up to this point, but she's definitely new to Booktube, I think, so she'll do more books. So before we get to the results, I'll have to say that if you like this video, this challenge, which is probably way too long, unless I edit it down to a manageable side. We covered 15 booktubers. I compared myself to and our reading tastes. And if you want to compare your book, yourself to other booktubers, feel free to do a similar video. Or you can suggest booktubers I should add to this another video of this, yourself or somebody else you think that our reading taste fit. Leave a comment with your channel if you want to be featured in the next video, and there is a link to my Goodreads account down there, so you can compare your bookshelf to mine and see if you're closer match to mine. If you are, please tell it so. I want to follow your channel. You have similar reading tastes, but whatever. Let's go to the calculate the spreadsheet. So the 4 more books in common. Lydia is the undisputed champion with 145 of them. And as for reading taste, we'll have to give it to Harveys and the Trees, Merge with 100%, and also to Lexie for an 85%. This geeky stuff. If you have a better idea of ranking the overall results, then feel free to mention it. Again, you can do this video, or you can suggest other people about a video like that second video. And if you like this video and if you've got this far, leave your comment below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.